Aujourd'hui, dans la nuit, ils sont déjà 5h26 de Caen, je crois, donc 14 pour Caen. Beaucoup des vidéos sur des questions qui sont mises en table par différents côtés du monde. Je crois qu'ils ont piqué, je n'ai pas écouté tous juste au moment encore, mais je crois qu'ils ont piqué une partie sur la question, c'est une question centrale, qui était mise en scène par cette couverture ici à Lisbonne, avec apparemment, je ne peux pas même être sûr si c'était Macron ou pas. La question aujourd'hui, ce n'est pas dans une couverture, dans le papier, dans le journal, c'est la possibilité technologique de changer tous les visages. Pour toi, au niveau technologique, c'est cool. Presque real time, if not real time sometimes, or the voice, or the words, or the text, or whatever. This is a paraphrase of the state of destruction of the world. And I say, remember these two crimes that illustrate the path and the absence of a real answer to put an end to these questions of security, of hope. On the front, the fiber-optic film, as I call it, and the technology anti-noise on audio system associated with conversations on phones. It's impossible for who they want. They want. I am not able. I have a phone on my hand, and I cannot phone or receive calls. 20 years like these days and such. I'm the only one in the world in this situation of hostage and encirclement of communications. To serve what purpose? Robbers of all kinds. I say this, what is puzzling me more in world level is why the states have apparently lose all the ability by laws defined to act properly in these questions or are questions of security of individuals and countries and inter-countries by extension. But this is everywhere, this state of exception and this cascade ad infinitum of crimes of destruction and robbery. And I suppose I have remember again an example that I could, on the context, to remember the digital age. We are on the digital age, humankind, or global speaking in a simplistic way. We have entered a digital age. As delusion, I've quoted again delusion, because you have right on these. And there is an example that I'm not even sure if it comes from Deleuze or not, that I quote sometimes during all these 30 years, and I have quoted again on this series of 4 or 5 videos that I've published from yesterday. And I suppose they take it away. Why they take it away? Who are the possibly theoretical chief interests on taking away this precisely take? Because this is a political argument to fulfill some careers, to make one more gallon of gas or fuel to maintain a career that is in jeopardy by mistakes or bad decisions. The example was this one, I've quoted often. Rank Xerox or IBM, I don't remember, in the 70s, have launched the digital hire start on the photocopy, introduction of photocopies in a simplistic way, which means at a certain point, reproduction in quantity of originals was become a reality, instantaneous reality. We go to a machine, we put a manuscript or a photo or whatever, or a dactylography electrical machine paper, and next seconds comes a copy. This is different from the past until this point. This problem as equation has been introduced on this domain, was the first mass cell all around, was present on societies, business, companies, and so on. Companies, business, money. That makes the world go round. And I've got these, remember these. They have done a photocopy that was so good in technical terms of fidelity of reproduction that they say if some have a similar bill paper, papier de monnaie, real similar to the one that we print explicitly to do bills or papier monnaie, they can forge it in large quantity money. There's a new technology not far away, some large years or perhaps more than years already, which is a machine that allows for it in the cashier of the supermarket to check if the stamp in silver is real, to check at the moment if there is a papier monnaie à 50 euros, quelque chose à 100 ou 200, pour check si c'est vrai ou pas. C'est un contre-mesure qui a été need to do it fast, this facility including of forgery papier money. And there was the good sense at that time in America to forbid the manufacturing and the selling of this machine of photocopy, because there was also so fidelity already that it was possible to do this kind of harm to societies and to the country. Which means at that time there was a good sense and measures, real measures, which means we are very good, we do very good machines, we can do whatever we want with very good machines. But this is dangerous in this particular situation, then we do not do it, we just do it to show that we are good. But we do not are crazy to introduce this, or we are not gangsters to introduce this on the world. This thinking, which is expectable security thinking of all the states and persons and citizens even, has been lost. I suppose this part has been robbed. Why? This can serve what? To make money for whom? I suppose from number one. But this is possible that someone or many all around the world in political terms are using this example by a robber. Why? To justify what? This is the reality, let's say. I gave the count on this series of videos from yesterday, and people were entering and going out of the bill, slicing real time what I'm trying to record. As always, during 20 years, can't be. I must insist, people have more value today on their phones and computers sometimes that they have on bank accounts, first of all. All the data is possible to be changed, forged, and photocopied ad infinitum, which creates large problems concerning the definition of authenticity. Authenticity is something that is the basis of the human and even laws of property. I'm the owner or I'm not the owner of something, of this stake. If I pay it with real money or fake money, it's a crime or is a normal transaction that do not affect economy, production, and employment, and reforms and taxes. So this is a road of destruction. There's no good sense in political and law terms, and possibility of implement real measures will translate a very dark reality on these aspects. They are fundamental for the work of countries and the existence of countries, families, and so on. Have these more values today on communication systems, memories, and machines, where they emit memory, like phones or computers. And I must insist, something that I create here, even a byte, just a byte, I have created is mine, is created by my work, Work has a direct relation of axiomatic structuration of life at all the levels with property and value. This is the base of everything. This bite is mine. When someone enters here like a phantom and is stealing bites, is a thieving, is a crime defined by law. Can't be like this every second. It corresponds to the reality and pattern step level of destruction of the world because this affects all. Because these technologies are in all the domains of human life activities, and we are interconnected at a global level, and the potentiation of all these resultant damage and evil is also at the scale of the planet itself. Yesterday there was, and I suppose there's a follow-up concerning these criminal realities has arrived even to examinations of students in school, evaluations on exams. This seems a reality. Nothing surprised me, which means I did not see the news, but I believe that the reality goes until this point. Evaluation in schools. Of course, there's another line, a return to our shining days and so on. So that, as I gave the count at that time, this initial scene of, I don't know what exactly this is, I just link it by the music and the people and the beauty and so on. I have take the care here at my home. I don't know what artistic object is this one. I suppose it's a TV series or whatever. But someone has entered here, as I gave the count, and put a coin, because it starts with the defy of a coin lunch between a door, a metallic door that spars two parts, or two geopolitical zones on the wall. The curtain of iron with holes to make it fire like this, for instance. There's a fucker at that time when I linked this first time on the first series of my exercise of fake liberty to fulfill pimps and thieves and terrorists, that have put a coin there on my living room where I have the Italian wings sofa like the Great Wall in Japan. I just gave the count now with the construction with paralyzed boys or killed boys, the Lawood case with real-time crimes do here in my home, physical, which are conjunct of crimes, illegal entrance of home, destruction of property, on Cuba with the same value of changes or transformations or disease on principal glandules of the human body that regulate a lot of different functions and the sympathetic functions. This is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. This is a completely nightmare for all at second. With damage, all days damage, no compensation, no end to any damage. All the question on mankind from the time of exams without technologies, if you remember well. The cheats are not cheaters on life. And the zombie paradigm of Michael Jackson was yesterday present on the conversation with the men they bring me on the taxi from Emirates with all these aids. I still insist on the immediate reopening of my water at home because it is based on the crime of persecutory state of Portugal. Then the responsibility criminal is from the state. I want the reposition by the state. The man says, when we were young here, because he lives in Campo Rico somewhere in these quarters, so we were every day on the streets after school and so on, the kids, and we do not even have good infrastructures to fulfill the life on outside homes. Kids play football, almost on the street, and the police came and they ran away. It was like this 4 decades ago all around. Hmm? We do not have urbanization that allows to have camps and so on. Hmm? And this says now the kids stay at home with these connected as zombies to this reality, with all the problematic of the existence or non-existence of zombies in the newer generations. This is the reality of life today, or better saying, is the path of death of mankind. Duration of my accusation against the Portuguese persecutory Nazi state of going on torture and homicide. Yesterday, when I go out of home to buy food and water to Moreiras, I just take a soup. When I was descending, I was already with stomach problems that affects me until now. Which means someone has put again, as they put it, some poison on the soup because it was the only thing that I have taken. This is the reality of damage of life of persons and citizens in this country that runs free because no one answered by law, and this is daily basis done. This is a continuous attempt of murder. And I suppose it will be not very strange to extrapolate the impact of this in many other countries, in numbers that I cannot even quantify,